Here is an exclusive interview with the one and only Amitabh Bachchan.
Election Express is in Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's house, and we've got the superstar with us who we can see he's not in a booth of tar today. Thank you very much, sir. We're very keen on bringing the Election Express to your house, but the roads of Mumbai are so narrow that the Election Express barely made it. But we are great to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
So I want to chat with you about your vote 2014. And the need to encourage people to go out and vote, especially because in Mumbai we've seen people very uninterested, thinking of a long weekend and wanting to get away. How do you think we can change that?
Well, actually, one of the first things you must do is go and watch the film, Bhootnath, because it really is, there's a statement it makes for everyone to just, go out and vote. And there are many examples and many important and very pertinent views put across by this gentleman called Bhootnath in the film that actually encourages people to go out and vote. And I'm sure that, when we get down to talking a bit more, I can demonstrate to you what exactly he meant when he said in the film that, each vote will count, because if you're not voting, then you're not wanting your voice to be heard. Mm-hmm. And we do have many sequences in the film which have been kind of perpetrated in a manner where people actually don't want to encourage anyone who doesn't want to go out and vote or doesn't have an ID card or an I card to vote.
But the film also makes the point that there is no good candidate out there, which is why you have to appear as a booth and stand against this notorious builder. Is that the way you see it in real life also? The lack of good candidates, which makes a large part of middle India watching this broadcast feel it's not worth going out.
I'm most unqualified to give any kind of political statement, but as far as the film is concerned, yes, there is a little kid who interacts with the Bhootnath, and because he's the only one that can see him, and he faces a lot of problems because of uncovered work, situations socially, morally. He just says, I wish there is a politician there that is in charge of that area, and they're not happy with him. And they wonder what they can do to, get rid of him or defeat him in some manner. And that's what the Booth asks, there must be somebody who can challenge him and fight the next election. And then the kid says, why not you? He asks, why can't there be another good candidate? So there were many who stood up, but some were, bought over, some were bumped off. And he says, you'll be a damn good candidate because nobody can bump you off. Mm-hmm. And nobody's going to be able to buy you up because they can't see you. And that's how the film then develops into the ghost standing up for this.
But do you see also in real life a situation where more and more good candidates are now coming out and contesting? A lot of people fighting this election would have never thought of fighting 5 years ago. Do you see a larger societal change happen from, say, 10-15 years ago, where mostly it was strongmen who were winning and entering politics?
I think anyone that goes out into the political field goes with this impression that he's a good candidate. It's only, I think, after the voting is put and when the government is formed, and then if there's a non-performance, then they feel, perhaps this was not a good choice, and they'll have to wait for another 5 years. And this is also very adequately put in another sequence in our film, where the Booth is actually knowing that he's going to be fighting for election. The opposition party in the film wants to meet him and say, why don't you join hands and you can do things together. So he wants to know how the process of election works. And he asks them details, where does the money come from, how do you choose your candidates, and in that there are many revealing facts. So one of the things he says is that, it's like, he's questioned about marketing. He says, what has marketing got to do with electioneering? So the opposition people tell him that, we market something so that people come to know. He says, so it's like selling a product. And if the product isn't good, then you have to wait for 5 years. And then you refurbish the product, mm-hmm. or you do away with the product and get a new product, or refurbish it, change the name, change the marketing strategy, so that he can come up again for the next 5 years. It's satirical, the whole film, But it's been put across in a one.
Who do you think does, sir? Can we just take a seat? Who do you think is better at marketing, politicians or Bollywood stars?
I don't know. The best people are companies that are in charge of marketing. They do a wonderful job. But I think that it's a phenomena that has entered into almost all walks of life now.
What does Amitabh Bachchan make of the election that's taking place? This is being called one of the most important elections since 1977. You're a very keen observer of politics. How do you read the situation?
I think that the maximum number of people that will come out to vote will make a difference.
Do you have any personal preferences in this election? How? Because we did an interview with Amar Singh recently, and he says that the politics of the Bachchan family is very confused. You know, somebody, you were the brand ambassador for Modi, ma'am is with the Samajwadi Party. What is the Bachchan family's political orientation on this election?
May the best man win.
And you've got like one leg in this party, the other that side.
We are not, I'm non-political, so I will not be able to answer this question. But yes, Jaya is a member of the Raj Sabha, and she likes, being there and taking up issues and talking about them. But, otherwise, it's just an interest to see all your programs and see all the debates. I must say that I do find the debates very interesting. And I find them interesting because there's a lot of knowledge that one can gain, not just from the anchor, but from the people who participate in the debate. And how quick their repartee is. That's something for an actor. I observe it as an actor.
The Election Express was very excited about coming and meeting Amitabh Bachchan. Have you been able to watch any of what the Election Express has been doing?
Yes, I have. I've been seeing your wonderful van, and very envious that you have this, and maybe I should go and talk to DC. He was the one actually that designed one of my first vans, and but yes, it's very elegant, and I think it's a lovely idea that you take it out rather than invite people into a closed atmosphere of the studio. You actually get an opportunity to go and meet the rest of India, where India really matters and belongs to.
It's the studio of India, the real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea is really to give people who won't otherwise have an opportunity to speak, for them to make their voice heard.
That's true. I'm sure that you must be getting a lot of different ideas and viewpoints, which maybe perhaps you could not have been able to gather had you just sort of, sat in the studio as an anchor.
Oh, absolutely. It's life-changing because you actually see real people, real issues on the ground, as opposed to having a top-down view. You're speaking bottom-up.
Yeah, there have been very cynical views sometimes towards TV anchors, and I've not necessarily agreed with that, where they said that, you guys sit in, air-conditioned offices and, conduct your news and so on and so forth without knowing ground reality. But I think this is a wonderful idea, and actually disproves some of the cynicism that has entered into many people's minds. You can actually go out, visit a site, be on the spot for any particular decision or viewpoint that you may want to take, and bring it out to the people. And it's immediate because your van is so technologically powerful. And
you spoke, sir, of, thank you so much for saying all these wonderful things. That's very nice of you.
No, I really mean it, because I think that there is often this, this talk and this cynicism and sometimes a criticism. Oh, you guys just sit in the studios and do this. But I'm sure that there's a lot of research that goes in, because what you say is believed by so many millions of people, and therefore you have to be absolutely...
And seems to be playing an important role in shaping what happens in the electoral discourse.
It's quite coincidental. Just this afternoon, there were some people, asking about how they feel this election is different. And I told him, television has made the difference. Because television suddenly has brought you an instantaneous kind of reaction. You never had this before. Well, I'm talking about 40, 50 years ago, where you read a statement in the press, which was in black and white print, but you never saw a face behind it. You never saw an expression behind it. You never saw the dress or the color or where they were saying it. But now television is so instant and so immediate. You're able to give a character immediately to the rest of the country what he's saying, and you get an immediate counterpoint. I may say something. You'll pick some words out of this, and you go to somebody else and say, look, he said this, what is your reaction? It is so quick and so immediate that I think it helps really for us, common people, to know what's going on.
As one of the longest standing practitioners of mass media, do you think media can create a political party does it amplify a politician, or can it build something? Things were said about, say, a Modi or a Kejriwal, and I won't take names, but I want to understand from you whether you believe the media can create, or does it only amplify?
I would like to equate this with what happens in our profession. And many in our profession were of the opinion that, if you're good with the media, then your value goes up and, you can be made a star. I don't think that there is any other force other than your own personal talent and the acceptance of the masses that is going to be responsible for your success or for your failure. And therefore, I feel that if the masses will feel the effect of a particular party or a politician, irrespective of, whether the media actually promotes him or not, or promotes her or not, the masses will be the final answer. And that's what we always say. There are many times when critics who review our films, they do not say nice things. They dislike the film. It's absolutely fine because this is their viewpoint. But the film actually goes on to do maximum business. So what is the differing factor there? It's the reaction of the masses. So I would say that yes, in politics it's something similar. I doubt very much if media will profile you. It will, can put out your viewpoint as rapidly as you are. But eventually it's going to be that voting day and how many people come out and vote for you.
We are seeing a number of people coming out and vote as a voting percentage increase in every state election. It's been much more in every state that's gone to poll so far. Do you see cynicism levels go up or come down, sir?
No, I think that, if I may use another cliche that I just said, it's terrific marketing now. You drive down a road and you've never seen so many billboards carrying party posters as you have in this election. It's never happened. It's never seen this before. We're a little envious of that because all our banners have been taken up by the politicians, especially when you have a film like Bhootnath returns on release. And I asked for my producer, I say, hey, we don't see any banners up on the roads. So they've all been taken up by political parties.
You know what Madhusudan Mistry, the Congress candidate, did in Vadodara? He went there, he realized that all the posters have been taken by Modi. He tried to jump up, try and pull one of the billboards down, and he was promptly booked by the cops.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I saw that incident on television, yeah.
Well, Mr. Bachchan, we thank you so much for joining us. I think these peanuts have a very important story.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to go out and vote, otherwise you end up with monkeys. And the last thing anyone wants is monkeys as representatives.
Well, I wouldn't be so harsh, but yes, this is a sequence in our film, and I would urge you to go and see it because there are many nice moments in the film which actually tell people that how important your vote is.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bachchan, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.